Hey, welcome to the stream, everyone. I am really excited to talk about today's topic, which is the power of 100 days, right? How to achieve any goal in 100 days or less. This is something that I have actually experienced quite a bit through the years of my life, learning different skills, both personal and professional. And yeah, I find it to be really, really powerful. You'll actually be amazed at how much can actually be achieved within that time frame. And as you know, many of you are probably aware of is like workout programs, right? If you've probably seen, the before and after pictures of, like P90X, 90-day workout program. You start off flabby. By the end of 90 days, you're cut and lean. And so that's a physical kind of manifestation of what can happen within that time frame. And I personally have actually experienced that myself. Actually, back in 2000, what year was that? 2012, I think it was. I decided to commit to Jillian Michaels. She had a 90-day program called Body Revolution, and I full on committed to it, including the diet. I was counting my calories and my macros, working out every single day. The program was basically 6 workouts a week, and so every day I was doing a half-hour workout. And within the end of the 90 days, I usually joke and say that was not just a body revolution, but a life revolution. Like my whole life changed, like both mentally, physically. Like I felt stronger than I ever did before. I remember I was actually kind of like lean and cut to where other people were commenting and noticing. And so I that was one example where I've seen in my life where committing to something for that length of time, 90 days to 100 days, can be just so transformative. Funny enough, with like the Jillian Michaels program, prior to that, I'm someone like I don't really watch TV or movies, so I tend to be very out of the loop with pop culture. And so I remember when I came across her program, I had no clue who Jillian Michaels was. I never heard of the show The Biggest Loser. And so I just watched the trailer to that workout. I was on Amazon. I was like looking for a workout program. I was on Amazon, and there was like I've seen it had a lot of good reviews for that program. And then I watched the trailer, and then I just like love Jillian Michaels, just her presence of just, I like the fact that she's just cutthroat and just like yells at you. And I don't know, a part of me likes that. And then maybe it's the military side of me. But that was kind of a bit of a tangent, but yeah, so that's one way that I've seen, and you can just see such massive results in a short amount of time. And so that was personal. And then so I've seen this in so many different areas. So not just with like exercising, but then also in professional as well. So when I first started my business back in 2016, I want to say it is now, or no, 15. It's been 5 years. I think it was 2015. It's hard to keep up. Years keep going by. But yeah, so when I first started my business, what I did was I committed every single day to working on my business. And let me get clear on my thought here. I feel that's a key part in doing like this, setting a goal for the 100-day plan. Is having something measurable that you can do within that time frame, because if you do that, then that's how you actually see results. So with my business, I committed to doing a particular task within my business. Obviously, businesses have, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing like everything. But I found what the money making task was within that business, and then I dedicated myself to do that task every single day, no matter what. And then as I did that, I noticed exponentially especially after that 3 month mark of doing that particular task every single day, it compounds. It's like laying bricks, it just gets higher and higher. You're building, 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 and then things just start taking momentum. It's a great way to get momentum. So what I wanted to start off with was with is setting any goal. As you may be familiar with, is setting SMART goals. So I kind of wanted to touch on that. So a SMART goal is something that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and within a certain time frame. And so then, as I mentioned, like with my business, with being specific, I found a specific task that I wanted to do that was measurable. I could measure how many of that task I did a day, and do it within a certain time frame. And then the same thing could be said, like I said, with like the workout program. So if it was like losing a certain amount of weight, with measurable, you want to be able to know what outcome it is that you're looking for within the 100 days. And a lot of it, I would say, is have fun with it. So another example I have within my own life where I use this method of just challenge myself doing something every day for a specific length of time would be when I was learning Spanish. And I think this is a great way. If there's like a language that you said, you always wanted to learn, I highly recommend just doing like a 100-day challenge with it and seeing how far you come, because you will be surprised how much you can learn within, just the span of like 3 months. So with Spanish, with learning a language, I will say one key tip there is with learning language, you want to actually be speaking it every day. And then that's how you actually learn, as opposed to just doing flashcards. Flashcards are a part of it too, remembering vocabulary, but actually speaking. So what I did when I was learning, I was doing, like audio lessons where, you actually repeat and speak and have a conversation with an audio. But then I also did online tutoring, which I found very beneficial as well. And you can find like online tutors for really cheap on different like websites and apps and things. So that is a tip there for learning language. And then I would say the same thing for pretty much any skill you want to learn, especially if you're trying to like supercharge or do something in a, like I said, like the 100-day type span, is to get like a coach or tutor or some sort of mentor to help guide you in that. I've done that in a lot of different things, even with drumming. I remember I like accelerated learning to drum, doing the same thing where I was drumming every day, practicing rudiments and things like that. But then I also had a teacher, and then the teacher that I had, so let's say my goal was to play a certain song, and then he would break that song down. So then I knew which parts to practice each week, and then exponentially got to the goal of playing said song. That is a thing, is knowing what tasks you're going to do every day, and then challenging yourself to actually do it every day. But then knowing, what the overall outcome and goal is that you're looking for. And some things to help with that, I remember I did this when I was doing, like I said, like the Jillian Michaels program. And then I also did this when I was, I said, building my business, is having a calendar. I like having like a physical calendar, and every day that I actually performed a task, put an X on the calendar. So then with a Sharpie, just a nice big bold X. And so then every day as the days pass on, you see this visual representation of you actually accomplishing and doing what, you set out to do every day. And then the goal is to not break the chain, because as you're marking those X's on the calendar, they start linking together and you're building this chain. So that method I learned from, I think it was most likely in like a personal development book, but I think if I remember correctly from the book, it said that was learned from like Seinfeld would do that. Like his thing was writing every day. So then he would, every day put a X on, and then it was every day it was about, don't break the chain. So that is definitely one I highly recommend. And I found it, for whatever reason, the physical one is better for me, but there are apps that do the same thing. If you don't want to have like, you want to spare some trees, although I think you can find some eco-friendly recycled paper for calendars or make your own. But yeah, so that's definitely a big one there. And then, like I said, when you know like what the ultimate goal is that you want to achieve, and then breaking it down into micro goals, which is similar to what I was talking about yesterday when I was talking about things that I learned from my skateboard adventures. But yeah, having those micro goals too will help, so you actually know what it is you're doing each day, and are able to knock that out. And then another big thing I would recommend, along with keeping track, would be to schedule it. Because it's so easy when you set a goal or intention to just forget your day, let the day go by, and then it's the middle of the night and you're just sitting there and it's like, oh snap, I never did the thing I said I was going to do. So when you take the time to actually put it in your calendar, so you know that every day, or every day, this is what I'm doing at this particular time, and having it in your calendar, so then that way that's helping to hold yourself accountable. And speaking of accountability, also it helps to have some level of accountability, whether that be, like I said, hiring like a coach or a teacher or something like that to help hold you accountable, having your friends help hold you accountable. There's different ways of doing that too. I know some people like to do with accountability is to have like, what do you call it? Basically put money on the line, right? So then that's a way to make it so there's actually some sort of painful consequence of you not accomplishing what you're setting yourself up to do. So I know there's an app that allows you to do that. So you actually have a friend checking in and making sure that you're doing it. And then you could put, let's say, but you have to put like an amount that would actually hurt. And then you put it up, and let's say $1,000. If I don't do this, then I will have to pay $1,000. And then you would do like what's called like an anti charity. So like a charity that you would actually dread your money going towards, just something that is totally against your morals. I don't know, something crazy. I don't know, like the KKK has a charity or something, like something just absurd. And then that way that will motivate you, because if I'm not doing this, what I promise to do every day, then this money's on the line. And then that can be one way to motivate as well. That's not something that I have personally done, I guess, because honestly, that kind of scares me. It's like, oh no, what if? But because it scares me, I think that shows how it really does work, because of that fear factor can be motivating. So definitely. So yeah, having accountability. And then I would say another really key thing to keep in mind when setting this 100-day like goal or challenge for yourself is to know your why. Why is it that you're wanting to start this, or to do this particular goal or task or challenge? And so, because when you have a why, I guess this is a quote by Nietzsche, I believe, but if you have a why to live for, you can tolerate any how. So then that's a big thing to have within your mental space, because it can be challenging, because you're breaking your habits, your norm. And so if you have something that's actually driving you and pulling you, then it's not so much drudgery as it is, what you're doing. Because I think about like certain goals that I had with going back to with skateboarding. My why was I wanted to be fluent in skating. Like I wanted to be comfortable on the board, and be able to do these different maneuvers. So, and then that was like my why, because I wanted to feel that joy and that excitement and the fun. So then that drove me to where, as I was practicing every day and facing each challenge, it gave me the motivation to keep going, especially because I could see, how comfortable, those that were more skilled were on their board, and just like, all right, yes, that's what I want, and then another example would be, again, going back to my business. My why there was definitely I didn't want to be working a job. When I was starting my business, I was working 2 jobs. That was not my ideal living situation. I was doing it because I need to get back on my feet, but I've always been, I guess, an entrepreneur at heart. So working, a job where you got to punch in the clock, just wasn't for me. So that was my why for taking that time, even though I'm working 2 jobs and I'm having to work on my business in the middle of the night. It's sometimes it'd be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Because I dedicated no matter what every day, I'm doing this particular task. So having that why was a big motivation in me doing that every day. So to where, like I said, I get home after working 2 shifts, dead tired, but it didn't matter. I had to, get in my computer chair, sit down at my laptop and knock out my task before I went and passed out, only to, wake up a few hours later to start the whole cycle again. But it worked out because I said, as I dedicated myself to do that every single day, within that short amount of time, my business was able to take off exponentially, where a lot of people don't see that level of growth because they don't put that level of dedication. You have to really, really focus. Focus is a big, big part of being able to have those accelerated, supercharged results. It has to be a laser type of focus, where, again, using the example of my business, even though I was working, like I said, my 2 jobs, that time that I did have scheduled, as little as it was very, very focused. I was not doing anything else during that time. And then, like I said, I was making sure I did it every day. And then also with my business example, I did more on the weekends when I had more time. But that was a big thing. So also going on to the topic of focus, I would recommend is getting rid of distractions. So the best way to create more time in your life is to cut out the things that are not adding value to your life, that are not enriching you. So a big one for me, especially at that time when I started my business, is I totally cut out social media. I shut down my Facebook and everything, Instagram, all my accounts were closed. And then that way, outside of work, all I had was my business. And then at that time, I didn't really have a big social life, so I wasn't going out. And so then that I was just very, very focused on this one particular task. So I would say it's very important to keep your time as sacred, because time, it's a limited resource. We only have so much of it. So I highly, highly recommend actually looking at where are you spending your time and how can you change things and better utilize that time. So even right now in my life, I have my social media accounts back, but I don't keep, my phone is usually off. I don't have any social media on my phone. I removed the Facebook app and Instagram. Everything's removed from my phone. My phone is pretty much only used for phone calls and text. And that's it. And then when I do want to access Facebook, I access through the browser on my computer. And then even then I have a special app, or not app, what do you call it? A Chrome extension that blocks out the news feed. So I don't get caught in what I always call the scroll of death, where, next thing you know, you're scrolling and you don't realize that an hour of your life just went away on nothing. So I have, the newsfeed eradicator. So then, like I said, I don't see the newsfeed. And then I only use Facebook because I am a part of different Facebook groups and things like that. So I want to be able to have access to those. But I just strategically, I only access, during certain times and just to check whatever messages I have on there and to look at the different Facebook groups. And then same thing with Instagram. I can access Instagram through the computer. So then I'll do that as well periodically, kind of go through there, but then I make sure I time it and I'm not mindlessly just scrolling through social media, because that was just something for me that I realized was just a really big time suck. Another one for me, one I'm still working on, but I think I do a little bit better with, for me was also YouTube. So I would spend so much time just watching videos on YouTube. So what I do with YouTube is I have a Chrome extension. I removed YouTube from my phone, so it's blocked on my phone. And then I have a Chrome extension for YouTube that similar to the one that I have for Facebook. It blocks my news feed or the homepage feed on YouTube. So I don't see any recommended videos. So even when I'm watching something specific, I don't have any recommended videos on the side. So then that there's less likely of me getting into a YouTube, deep dive where you just start clicking on a video and a video and a video, suggest a video. Next thing you know, you end up in some weird part of YouTube. I will say I have noticed a huge improvement in the amount of time that I spend on YouTube now, because there aren't any suggested videos. And so I end up finding myself with positions like, man, I have nothing to watch. But then that's a good thing, because it allows me to actually focus my time on what I want to focus on and focus it on something productive. I say the only downfall to that is the fact that that also means I don't get to discover new things since nothing's being recommended to me. But I'm willing to kind of just take that loss for right now. I guess similar to with Facebook, the downfall of me not being able to see the newsfeed is I guess I don't get to see any cool posts by my friends, but it's just kind of, when I am curious of a friend, I will purposely go to their Facebook page and actually look at their posts. And I have done that. I do the same thing with Instagram. I'm like, oh, I wonder what, so-and-so is up to these days. And then I'll actually consciously go to their page and look at their feed and, see their pictures and get up to date with them. So, so those are some things I just wanted to touch on as far as productivity. It definitely helps to have that level of focus when you're setting on a 100-day challenge. And 100-day challenges can be fun. I love them because the fact that it's such a short amount of time, like it's easier to commit yourself like, okay, I'm just going to do this for 100 days. It's very just measurable, it's concise, and it's just like, I'm just going to do this, bam, bam, bam. And just, you can narrow in and just focus. And then, like I said, it's just so much growth can happen within that time frame. So I highly recommend it. Let's see here. Oh, I had someone ask about the Chrome extension to share it. I'll link them in the down below. But also, I guess it's Newsfeed Eradicator is the one for Facebook. And then, I guess I do need to look up what the name is, the one for YouTube. So I'll look them up, but then, I'll put them in the description as well. I think that's everything. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to add. This is just for my own redemption of yesterday, because yesterday I had so much fun talking about my skateboard progress, but I realized I showed like the beginning of my skateboard journey, and then I showed some of my fails, but I never showed the footage of when I actually got good. So I just want to show a clip of when things actually got good. So this is a clip after me skateboarding. I said I was skateboarding every single day for 100 days, and I just made so much progress in such a short amount of time. And so the clip I have, it's like at a particular skate park, and every single part of the skate park took me a journey to learn. Like I had to took me forever just to learn to go over one wall. There's like this little hump in this video. It took me forever to learn how to go over that little pump bump, and then to go around to learn how to do backside took forever for me to learn. Like I had this part I learned like inch by inch. I had to learn was a battle of every curve, every maneuver. And then so this is a video of me actually doing the whole park, doing backside, front side in a nice effortless flow. But it took lots of time and practice to do that. But anyways, I just wanted to show this clip as my, I don't know, just for my own well-being, because I just felt like so off yesterday after the stream. I was just like, oh no. So here's this clip. This is real quick. Woo. So I just I wanted to add that for my own peace of mind. And then there was another one too, and I could have added this in this video, along with like I said, doing a 100-day challenge. But then there's also something to be said of doing something every day, 100 times a day. Like, so if it's like a physical skill that you're trying to learn, like doing that one particular task 100 times a day, like people do like the 100 push-ups a day challenge and things like that. So what I did when I was learning to skateboard is 100 ollies a day. So an ollie where you jump up with the skateboard. And I went to get better with it. So I did that. And then I actually seen progress. So then this was another clip I wish I would have showed. It was me when my ollies actually got good after doing 100 ollies a day, every single day for 30 days. Although they didn't get good enough for me to go up curbs yet. But they did get good, and I was hopping over things. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Always let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer anything. And also, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for all the positive feedback that I've been getting and all the love. I've really been enjoying doing these live streams. This is now my 7th one. I'm excited. I'm actually in the middle of trying to do this as a 100-day challenge as well, of just doing live streams and to see, what type of progress can I make. So what I'm hoping to do is hopefully after 100 days of doing this, maybe I'll be able to be more comfortable in front of the camera and be more fluent, and also to be better at organizing my thoughts and presenting, all those things. So many goals, but then again, like I said, it's just something that I'm dedicating myself, have scheduled my calendar every single day to do this task. So yeah, again, so much power in that. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the love, everyone, and have a good day.